Hi Joel, it's Sabrina Gibson. I just wanted to send you this video immediately. As you can tell, I'm not in business attire, and I felt like I had this information that I needed to share with the graduates in hopes that they could really take to heart what you taught us and what a gift it was that you gave us. I've had immense breakthroughs since going through your training. One of the things that just recently happened is that I just did a webinar, which we've been doing webinars for quite some time, and I just implemented a couple things that you taught us into that webinar that I had never done before, and it literally generated double our sales. We doubled our sales just from these two little tiny pieces. The first thing I did was, which was completely scary for me, was that I really revealed a breakdown that I had in my life. And that was, I actually left college with 5 classes to go and never ever finished my degree. And as you can imagine, in the workplace and traditional jobs, so it be that I applied for, they all required to have this degree. So what it did was I was actually quite grateful for it, because it forced me to learn skills that they didn't teach in books, that they didn't teach in school. So I learned how to program databases and got hired by companies like Deloitte and Touche and Anheuser-Busch. These are companies that, for the type of position I was going for, required a degree. And that what I was able to do is share that with the people going through my webinar, teaching them, saying that they need to get skills that aren't being taught in school, and that if I would have just completed my college education, that I may not have been able to step into positions like that. I was being hired for positions that most people with college degrees were being overlooked, because I had the experience. I had that experience and skill set that no one else had. The second thing that I did was I talked about my kids in a way that I've never talked about them before. I mean, my kids are my heart, and I shared that. I talked about and really talked about the time that when my first daughter was born, it literally took my breath away. I was just shocked with how much love I had for another human being. And I shared that with them on the webinar, and it just cemented the emotional that you talked about, how the sales are connected to the emotion, and I talked about that in a much different way that I'd ever talked about. The final piece that I implemented was I actually put in what I call the STAR system, and I identified the 4 areas that our program that would teach them, and I was able to communicate what the S and the T and the A and the R all stood for, and this all resulted in a double our sales. Honestly, it took me maybe an hour, 2 hours at the most to rework my slides through the webinar and put this in place. And I'm amazed at just how easy what you teach us is. And it's almost like it's been ingrained in me somehow. I don't have to go back and re-look at my notes or anything like that. It's just there for me. So I want to thank you so much. I'm going to have to probably send you about 1,500 more videos, because it just seems like every day I'm finding little Joel-isms coming out in the way I speak with people and the way I connect with people. Most importantly is that I feel like this big, albatross that I've been carrying around, so shameful, that I never finished my college degree, has been lifted, and it's actually a gift for me. So I thank you so much, Joel. You are truly a gift. I hope the graduates know just to go back and just start implementing the information that you apply, because it absolutely and utterly works.